Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome on stage Shivani, Karia, Jhaveri, co-founder and COO at Blox. Give her a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, as Shivani joins me over here on stage. Can I please have a louder round of applause? Please, everybody over here. And to be in conversation with Shivani, we have an architect by qualification. And after an active architectural practice of more than a decade, she knows who she is. She doesn't even want me to finish her introduction. That's how sweet she is. Ladies and gentlemen, editor of Realty Plus over here, Sapna Srivastava. Give her a big round of applause, please. Sapna, on that note, I will request you to take it forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Shubhajit. I didn't let you complete and I barged on the stage. So but thank you for those wonderful introductions. And as Shubhajit mentioned, Shivani is a dynamic entrepreneur, but I have known Shivani for quite some time, and she's a dynamic personality overall. But one thing I want to ask you, like we mentioned in your introduction, from the world of fashion and luxury to the world of bricks and mortar, how did that transition happen, and what are the lessons that you have brought to real estate from there?
Thank you for the question, Sapna. And just before we begin, thank you for having me here. Tripti and you have been doing fantastic events for real estate, bringing the community together. And congratulations, you've just completed 20 years. So it's been fantastic. Very happy to be a small part of this big journey for 3 years now.
Yes.
So very excited to be here and doing this discussion with you. So to come back to your question, not only fashion and luxury, interestingly enough, when I look back at my career, I have been in banking services, straight out of MBA, joined Entrust Data Card, which is the 98% market share leader in global card issuance machines. So all our debit cards, credit cards. So jumped from that onto a tech platform that created the first gifting of e-cards that was swappable for luxury brands. Very early on, they realized that the luxury market is growing. Post that, I had the privilege of working with Miss Anita Dongre, heading her marketing portfolio for all of the luxury brands. So be it from launching a new perfume line and going to market with that, or opening up stores. She was at that time opening stores in New York and Dubai, the first designer to go out in New York and open a standalone store. And a large company as well from the perspective of market share in India. So very fortunate to have dabbled in many of these industries.
Quite a diversified experience, I must say.
I think a lot of that has also helped to gain perspective on consumer behavior. So the idea is that if you are someone with a keen attention to detail for how people are purchasing, no matter what the product, you're able to bring that skill set to any of the industries. So I think a lot of times people think that being in one line or one industry for a long period of time alone gives you an edge. But there's also a flip side to it, where if you have gained exposure in multiple industries or different types of roles that you've done, it sometimes gives you a space where your knowledge can be a bit more than somebody who's been on the same track. So I think I use that to my advantage.
I completely resonate with that, as I come from a different background, coming from an architectural background into the media. People say how that transition happened. But yes, the learnings, the technical learnings I can use here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So similarly, what learnings have you brought to real estate? Because real estate is a completely different ballgame.
Oh yeah, real estate in it of itself is a acquired taste, I would say. And that's only because it is vast. And today when we look at it as an industry, India is growing. It's going to grow multifolds. We're expecting it to reach very high GDP of maybe 7 trillion in the next 7 years is what we're anticipating. A big contributor to this large economic growth is real estate. We're all in the midst of a technology boom as we speak. India is in a very privileged position. Today with Modi, with all the initiatives that India is seeing, not just real estate, but technology on the whole is propelling, and business that comes with technology is growing. So keeping that in mind, what we do at Blox is understanding consumer behavior, because to take a platform direct to consumer for a product category like residential homes is of course not an easy joy, right? But keeping in mind again that, you know, if you're able to understand behavior, then you're able to go ahead and change it. So today when we see that we have platform sales that are organic of somebody coming from Ahmedabad buying property in Mumbai, paying the token amount on Blox, or somebody who of course lives in Mumbai is understanding what they want, discusses their requirement with us online or offline, goes on the platform and then transacts and pays the booking amount on the platform. I think my past experience of having done go-to-market somehow came into play and proved useful for us to be able to say, ke, nahi, what do you mean ke ye aisa hi hota hai? It doesn't add up. The world is moving. Globally, you have all these prop tech companies that have for a while now been selling properties online. Why are we in India not open to that idea? That was when we started. Today, we are very excited to be in the position that we are in, be able to grow month on month, quarter on quarter, year on year, the way that we have, hence proving that if you are able to identify that one gap, focus, energize yourself to ensure that you're in it for the long ride. You can't change consumer behavior in 1 or 2 years. It's a 10-year journey, and we're somewhere there to be able to say that, okay, now India is buying homes online.
Yeah. No, that's correct. I think sometimes you need to look at things from a fresh perspective. And you coming from a different industries, different segments, different experiences, I think you took a fresh look at everything that was happening in real estate and bring something new. But I'm sure you must have faced some mindset roadblocks as well, because real estate still remains largely a traditional kind of a business. So, you know, what were the challenges that you faced?
No, you're absolutely very right. Traditionally speaking, if someone saw me as a kid, they would think I would end up as a doctor or a CA, because my sister went in one direction, my father is a CA. So it was not, my family's like, what do you mean you'll do marketing? They thought as a kid that I'm going to go door-to-door selling, right? So I'm like, of course, that's not the case. So for me, I've always been someone who does what I find my passion in. And of course, you know, Sapna, now mindset of, you know, like you mentioned, the traditional mindset that has been around in real estate. For the one reason that we are fortunate enough in this industry to have long-running legacy brands that have stood the test of time. You know, all the developers' houses that we see today. What that has done in the last 5 years is, you know, either by the way of the second generation entering, or by the curiosity and passion that real estate has shown to accepting technology, or at least accepting that technology is here for the long run, and how can we change ourselves to say that we are running with the ages, with the times, to with technology to move forward. So the mindset, one issue that we face earlier is, online ghar kaun khareedta hai? Like, who does that? So I think that was one big hurdle that we had to jump past. And the only way that you're able to change your mindset is by provable results. So today when we're able to show either to our investors who showed faith in us very early on, right? Before we even had a product, we even had a name. We had a seed round from 14 different Silicon Valley investors. So when you have that kind of passion, it shows. And, you know, the people in America are usually more accepting towards a dynamic change in an industry. So today when we're able to show, hey, look, so many people have bought online, automatically that mindset melts away, and they're like, acha, hum kaise list kar sakte hain? Hamare project mein bhi active karo. So I think that happens with results automatically.
That is true. I think pehle log bolte the, you know, buying clothes online was a big thing.
Yeah.
That's happening now. Buying groceries online, that was
yes.
not thing. And now everyone is Blinkit
Yeah.
and Zepto. And now, as you mentioned, buying homes online, at least booking online, so those things are happening. You have a major part of it. You mentioned that technology is, real estate still lagging behind. It's a slow adopter of technology. According to you, what could be the top 3 reasons for this slow adoption of technology in real estate?
You know, interestingly enough, what you mentioned is absolutely right. People said, how do you buy clothes online? How do you buy makeup online? And look at Nykaa today, doing so well, IPO'd. So the top 3 things, I think, one, you've identified correctly. Compared to the other industries, be it clothes, cosmetics, food delivery, any of that, real estate, for many reasons, wasn't able to evolve technologically, given that it is by nature fragmented. The processes, the type of structure that we see there. This is also pre-RERA or pre any of the government initiatives. Today, when we talk about the regulations or registration having been done online, I think it is evolving in nature, not just because mindset is closed off to technology. I think society evolves in a way that it sees the environment evolve. So, abroad you have MLS, which is a listing system that is fully integrated, and you can see any and every sale by logging into it. So it's a very democratized system. You don't have that existing here. Maharashtra, you can still not do e-registrations of properties. 141,000 property transactions were registered in the last year alone. Now imagine how much impetus having the possibility of doing that online can give you, right? So multiple reasons. One is, industry has been fragmented in nature. There's developers, there's brokers, there's buyers. There's multiple other elements that are always at play. There's also the government that is now taking notice of digitizing all sectors, and real estate, because of the scale, size, barrier to entry and opportunity, makes it slightly hard to be able to digitize it at scale. And one other reason is, honestly, a lot of the CRMs or the sales management systems that at least we've seen have not been implemented at a very early age in the developer's ecosystem. And whatever the reason for that may be, a lot of them are now sort of turning to doing it. That's why when we also were getting into real estate sales, we said that we realized that, be it Salesforce, we took a few demos and we understood. We didn't have an ERP system that was able to lend itself to us. So we decided very early on in Blox to build our own ERP CRM system that is fine-tuned and customized to the lead journey that real estate sees. It's not in any other industry that you'll have a buyer who will have a gestation period. The CAC is very high because the product value is very high. That leads, gets dropped off along the way after site visits, or they want to reconsider doing it after some time. The journey is not as simple and straightforward as thoughtlessly buying something on an e-commerce platform would. So there's a certain amount of seriousness that is attached to this kind of purchase and this kind of industry. So while it has been one of the laggards in adoption compared to other industries in India, it is still, for its speed, catching up pretty quickly.
That's right. So according to Shivani, top 3 things. One is the industry is fragmented. It's quite fragmented, the number of stakeholders, the number of industries associated with it. Second is, I think the one big push comes from government, which has been lacking in the case of real estate, from simple things like e-registrations, which is, happening worldwide. And thirdly, I think early on there were not enough efficient CRM systems that, which would interest the developers to go in that direction. But hopefully things are changing now, and we had this entire panel of young techpreneurs.
Yes.
So they are doing great work in that. So on that positive note, home buyers. Now, while the industry has been evolving, on the other end, the home buyers are also evolving. Their entire journeys are evolving. in your experience, what are, the evolution you have seen on that side, in terms of home buyers?
So it's interesting you mentioned that. That's a metric that we track very deeply, which some of them are. One is migration patterns. Mumbai city and the MMR region is a very interesting, used to be predictable sort of market where, you know how they say someone living in Bandra will always live in Bandra, someone in Juhu is always going to live in Juhu, maximum someone will go one suburb far. All of that is changing. A lot of productization is entering the system today. You will see a lot of people from peak Nepean Sea Road in South Bombay, moving to Worli, which was unthinkable 10 years ago because the developments are newer, the amenities are higher. You also have a lot of high value sales and transactions that are happening in the western suburbs, be it Malad, Borivali, fetching a 45,000, 55,000 PSF. So there are a lot of trends that are shaping up for everyone in the industry. Be it someone today saying that if there is a Mulund launch, the radius in which we market is very high. You'll see someone from western suburbs moving there because they want a peaceful living experience. Or you will see someone from Thane going to Mulund saying that, no, I want to get closer to the hustle bustle of the city. So you have a lot of differentiated patterns. I think COVID is a big reason why people have understood the reason for bigger spaces. So if you see today, the demand for 3 BHK homes is much higher than it used to be. 2 BHKs are higher than they used to be. So people are understanding the need for larger homes. A lot of rental habits have started to form. We see a lot of our home buyers from our platform are not buying for self-use, but are buying from the perspective of which real estate will fetch them the highest yield. So you not only have primary consumers of real estate, you have international interest today in real estate. You have Indian interest flowing out for real estate abroad. You also have multiple, Gift City, for example. I mean, 1 year ago, if you saw, there was a huge boom and people were buying at what prices. So there's a lot of attempts also being made at increasing the amount of population that can say that they live in metro cities, if you talk at an India level. A lot of the Metro 2s are getting upgraded. So across board, when you are to take a helicopter view of the trends and the analysis that are shaping up in India, or zoom into Bombay and see what is happening in the market, it is changing, it is evolving, but it is growing year on year. I think from 2023 to 24, the market in terms of sales, value and volume grew 11%, which is the highest recorded increase year on year, at least in the last 13 years. So trend-wise, I think we're all in the right business.
Okay, fantastic. So one is in terms of consumer behavior, now they are not sticking to their own micro market.
Yes.
They, and I think largely, as you rightly said, probably they want better amenities.
Yeah.
Those living in Nepean Sea Road, they want a swimming pool, they want a club within their society. Those who are in Thane, they want to move to, better localities, upgrade their lifestyles. They want bigger homes. So, more aspirational, I think, buying. And second, as you mentioned, they are also buying for investment. So that's another, consumer behavior that we are looking at.
Yeah.
Now, at Blox, you are doing a D2C model. So how is that transforming the home buying experience, the process? How is that happening?
So, Sapna, when we speak to our customers, because without a complete feedback loop, nobody can improve their products or services. What we are told is they enjoy the, one, we only have inventory that is available for sale. So you will not find any broker listings. All listings are directly listed from the developer. We've sold for over 400 developers so far and continuing to sell for a lot more. We also, on the other side of things, when across board, you're able to create a journey that is revolving around what does the customer want. First, it is search and discovery. How do you enable them to get better search and discovery? They've come back and told us that the data on our website is very relevant, is very recent. Nothing will be shady. If the delivery is 2024, we have a whole team of 20 people that are ensuring that we are continuously updating our knowledge base and information to have crisp and granular information on every project and development. So one is you get data-led decision making. Two, you are able to get only verified inventory for sale. Three, you can take virtual tours, yeah. Today, nobody, see, again, e-commerce mindset is what? You'll see everything, you'll shortlist, you'll add to cart, and then you'll check out, right? Now, while that's not something you can do for homes technically as a way of life, it still is the same behavior and habit forming that will help you say, okay, I like these 5, I want to see these 5 sites. I don't have the time to visit these 5 sites. We'll have a relationship manager, go to those sites. On our website, you can just do a video call. And automatically, of course, there'll be some reason for which they cannot select that project. They'll come down to 2. They'll visit those 2. They'll like it, not like it, then move forward in their journey. So we're saving them time. We are saving them trouble. Relationship managers enable us to do the online to offline model beautifully. So you can come online, not interact with any human if you so wish to, because the journey is complete. But if you want some assistance, because you'll have questions, it's an emotional purchase, we have the relationship manager dedicated to you that will enable you to take the whole journey. So be it data-driven decision making, ensuring that there is verified inventory, relationship managers to handhold you through the journey, and of course, across board, having a trust that every inventory that we've put up on our platform is by and large vetted. We have a 20-list checklist of be it the developer or the project that have to comply by it for us to say that we'll put this on Blox and now it's available to buy.
So do you also coordinate with the developers of those projects to keep verifying the data with you, keep updating the data on your site?
The high volume developers, since we're selling for them at their site, or even if they have an inactive site, we're always in touch. A lot of times, yes, there is intervention required from the developers team. More often than not, just by attending CP meets these days, you're able to get the correct info straight from the horse's mouths. We have teams that are deployed every launch all the time. They're ensuring that they are going to site physically themselves, so the customer doesn't have to necessarily. So if there is a question revolving around, ye iska access kahan se, iska road kahan se, people are buying a home, they'll have all these questions. Someone is able to say, okay, I'll connect you with this relationship manager, he looks at this area. So there's a very micro thought out approach in being able to eventually tell the customer right and verified information.
Okay, so all the legwork is being done at Blox on behalf of the customer, so that
आप सिर्फ buy करने आओ, हमने सब काम करके रखा है.
Okay. So they are doing all the site visits on behalf of the customers, giving them the verified data. Yeah. And most importantly, like we earlier used to see, कि जब तक हम material को touch नहीं करेंगे, कैसे पता लगेगा? How do we buy, dress? Yeah. Now we are buying without touching the cloth. Correct. So similarly, now they can do the virtual site visit. And a lot of developers, they have told us, when they come to the site, they have already decided, or they have already shortlisted 2 projects or 3 projects max, yeah. Because they have already done all the research online. Correct. So, when they have done all the, virtual site visit, everything, so they are already decided when they do the actual site visit.
You're absolutely right, yeah.
So fantastic. These are some of the few things that you are doing at Blox, which are transforming the way people are now buying real estate. What is one big achievement of Blox that you are really proud of?
So, of course, apart from crossing the bridge of changing the mindset of just coming and transacting online, like you said, everyone's decision is already made. They know where they're going to buy because they're all very intelligent buyers today, very informed. We had a study that we did where we asked if everyone who wants to buy a home, how do you start your journey? Nobody said that the first thing they do is call the broker. They said first we go online to see what projects are there, and by then they've sort of understood what they are buying. Of course, then they may choose to go with a broker or go according to what they want. But like you said, that bias is already ingrained and existing for them to act upon. So my most excitable thing in Blox is, one is we have Blox Lab where we do AI development. So we have a lead prioritization engine that enables us to scale better, enable more lead conversion. We are all in the business of leads. If you're in real estate services for sales, you're actually in the business of leads, getting qualified leads, ensuring that maximum pass through the funnel. The funnel is usually large at the top, where you have a lot of interest garnered, and the closures at the bottom do start dwindling, and this is true for everybody, right? So I think one of the things is our lead to walk into sales conversion that, for which we have been able to create the tech, the CRM, and the whole product stack. There is one nucleus CRM where all the data goes, which is AI powered. We have a relationship manager app. So Sapna, if today you wanted to see a property in Juhu at 7 p.m. today, you could go schedule a visit. The RM will see you there himself or herself at 7 p.m. because they get a notification on their app, right? Now, over and above that, we have a developer view that we are creating. We have a Blox XYZ platform. We've started this new thing called Realgram, which is real estate Instagram, where we put videos of these projects. Because aren't we all used to now also buying on Instagram, right? So we want to get all the best practices of e-commerce into home buying. So these are, I think, our product stack would be one. Ease of use that we were able to create, which was a long journey. It didn't come easy. We had to ensure that we are making our online journey faster and faster. Earlier it was 8 steps. Now today it's 6 steps. For longest time it was 7 steps. But our endeavor is to ensure that we are making it fast, quick, and dependable and reliable. So I think being able to achieve that, I'm satisfied.
These are all proprietary apps.
100%. Blox Labs is completely in-house. We have a few PhDs in AI. And when I see their screens, my mind goes crazy. Like, how are you looking at this black and white screen all day? But the beauty that comes out of it for us to, whenever someone comes with like, okay, we've created this, can we demo it to you? And every time they've done that with something fantastic, it's always good. We also have a voice, intonation, and sentiment analysis-based in-house created AI technology that again enables from these 1 lakh, 10 lakh leads that we received every few days to be able to say who wants what, who is interested, someone is a concerned parent. To that degree, it's able to say someone is a concerned parent and they're looking for their school to be close by, or someone has 80 plus member in the family who would not want something without an elevator or this or that. So all of this kind of huge data bank of information and then getting compartmentalized into buckets of data sets that we can then churn to understand how to serve this data set or this requirement to its best ability. So all of this is in-house, and of course the CRM is in-house as well. And whenever we've demoed it, we've decided not to use our CRM for monetization directly where we give it to developers, but because that's like a magic ingredient, that's like a little secret sauce, right? But everyone that we've shown it to said that, oh, this that you have, we've been asking Salesforce to add for the longest time, but every feature we add, we have to pay extra. Every login, every view, you have to pay extra to come, and this is same for a lot of the high-end CRMs. To implementation cost is high, data storage cost is high. So what we've been able to do is remove all the unnecessary embellishments from CRM that actually deter you from being able to use the functionality that as a sales manager or head of sales you need and you want to see. So I think that customization for real estate is helped us along the way.
I think that is what we spoke earlier, the efficiency of the systems, which was stopping the developers from adopting it, Before I conclude with my last question, one thing I want to ask, what makes, one word if you have to use, what differentiates Blox from others in this market for a customer? In one word if you have to say.
For the customer,
Yeah, what differentiates Blox from others?
it's easy. It's like, you don't have to give it too
User
much thought.
friendly.
Very user friendly. We've made it like that.
Okay, fantastic. That's what we want. Everything should be user friendly. I still don't know how to use half of the things on my smartphone. I am not using it, so
Oh, come on, no, you're an architect. I'm sure you do.
because they are not user friendly. Anyways, we always like to. We had a fantastic day of deliberations, discussions, technology, flex spaces. We would like to end our conclave on an inspirational note. You being with all the accomplishments that you have had, the experiences, you are a woman leader in it yourself. Although we believe leader is gender agnostic, leader is a leader whether man or woman. Yeah. It is your leadership qualities and your attitude and your achievements what makes a person a leader. But if I have to ask you one piece of advice for the, Women's Day is around the corner.
Yeah.
So, I have to ask you one piece of advice for the women professionals who are aspiring for a leadership role. What would that be?
Yeah, thank you, Sapna. Interesting question. Close to my heart as well. So I think women in general in India in the workforce are increasing in number. Real estate sees fewer than an average business would. So I urge everybody to come be a part of this industry. We don't bite, it's all good. It's a good place to be. But most importantly, it is important to stick to your beliefs. When we started out initially taking a platform live and expecting sales online, although we had other mechanisms of generating sales even then, but our focus remained, that we want to do something and do it differently. So it wasn't easy, it didn't start, but today I'm very happy to say that we're going to close the year 2024-25 with having done $500 million worth of real estate sales. So point is, if your passion is true, if you are persistent with it, nothing can stop you. Man, woman, it really doesn't matter. Your capability will always take over other people's biases. It may happen immediately, it may take some time. But if you're driven, if you're ambitious, everybody can reach there, yeah?
A lot of people talk about glass ceiling in real estate. Is it there or?
I think every woman who's able to make their way and move forward, the industry doesn't stop you. Nothing, there's no design that says that no women cannot succeed. There are a lot of women today, in the panel earlier we had Nidhi, we have Garima, we have you, we have Tripti, we have all these wonderful women that are working closely in real estate. And so only you can stop yourself, yeah? And then if anyone is going to doubt you, show them results and shut them up.
I think the ceiling is in your own mind, like what,
Yes.
it's as you said, it's your own belief. If you want to do it, you do it. And if you and as we just said, it's merit and qualities. It's not gender. People will recognize your merit, whether you are a man or a woman. So fantastic, I think. And what you said, $500 million of
Yes, in
sales.
gross transaction value. And
that's a big achievement.
Yeah, thank you. And we're also growing, we're also expanding, with our recent strategic investment in Guardians Group, who also do phenomenal sales, 3x the number that I mentioned. So down the road, when we do consolidate, together we'll be one of the strongest, highest market share leaders of real estate, primary residential especially, in India, in fact.
So if you can do it, I'm sure other women leaders can follow that
Everybody
example.
can do it.
Yeah,
Everybody can do it. And this happens with the support of the team, right? Like everyone
Exactly,
has
yeah.
to be driven to the mission, man, woman, young, old. Everyone has to have their eye
But
on
you
the ball.
need to have that leadership to drive them. Yeah, so that's what Shivani is here all about. But thank you, Shivani, for sharing those wonderful thoughts. One, how the entire industry is changing. Most importantly, how the home buyers' journey of buying a home is changing. You know, how it is becoming, and companies like Blox are a big contributor in transforming that journey for and making it user friendly, as you said. So thank you so much for that very inspirational ending to our conclave.
Thank
And,
you. Thank you,
couldn't have-
Sapna. Thank you for all your kind words and for having me here. Thank you.
We couldn't have ended on a better note than this. Thank you. Thank you. Shiv.